get so mad, there's no control. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock, I might grab a bat, I don't know, my rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you shut the fuck up real bad. Shut up.
Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is the AEW Dynamite review here with BX Sports Jedi Network. And, of course, let me bring in my co-host tonight, Hill. What's up?
Nothing much, Kev, you know. Just here to talk some All Elite Wrestling.
Indeed. And thank you guys for joining us. We have news. We're going to find out who is the Jokers here tonight's episode. And we're going to find out we have a new wrestling organization at the end of the program. We have a couple of new neat promos that of the new wrestling program that coming to a network television near you. So stay tuned at the end of the program. You're really going to like it. And let's go right into it. The rice and beans of the evening. It is AEW night. And of course, oh man, what a night. Wednesday, they called it Wild Card Wednesday. We started. They didn't even let us wait. They went right into it. The Owen Hart qualifying match. Samoa Joe versus the Joker. And everybody wanted to know who the heck is the Joker. We had names from Johnny Gargano, from anybody, you know, Brock Lesnar was the name that they mentioned here. They mentioned others. And all behold, Johnny Elite comes out, formerly known as Johnny Morrison. What's your thought, first and foremost, of the Wild Card Joker?
I was right. You can go back on a few of these shows. I guessed it right. And I also guessed the name right because, you know, with Johnny Elite, he always goes by whatever the promotion's name is. And it's, of course, just a very generic name. But, I mean, do you want to go ahead and just dig in on the match?
Yeah. I wanted to say first and foremost, I'm going to fact check that with the name. I do recall you say Johnny, but I don't remember saying the Elite though part. But again, I'm going to give you the people's eyebrow on that one.
All right.
All in all, you did mention him, and I'm going to give you a thumbs up. I'm going to give you a Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yep. And this was besides a few mistakes. This was actually really exciting and good match. The crowd, of course, was pumping, you know, because let's be honest, AEW is meaning like an indie mark type of like environment. You know, they will pop for anyone that can do a flip in the ring or at least has some like credibility like outside of WWE, or even if they left WWE, like as long as they feel like you're a rebel, they're gonna be like, oh my god, yeah. So yeah. That was just this match in a nutshell.
The highlight of the match was who the heck was the Joker. I thought the match was a bad match. Sloppy. I thought the match was, all in all, like, Morrison is better than that. I seen him, you know, compete in not just the Indies, but in WWE. You know, he worked with the Miz hand in hand. You know, good wrestling. Former WWE Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion. I expected better, and especially Samoa Joe. You know, it could be because Samoa Joe's weight. No shame, no weight shaming, because we both, me and you, are no Adonises. You know, I'm not no Adonis, but But if you're in an in-ring performance, I thought, here's one. And I'm going to speak with facts. Here's the first one. He couldn't even do the moonsault there. He fell short, and then okay, you botched one move there. He kind of sold it. Even Jr. and the commentary, Cerrone said, "Oh, he just missed it. He's gotta execute it better if he's gonna beat Samoa Joe." And then he had a sunset flip on the outside of the ring. Was cringeworthy that even the fans, and the thing is, the cameraman went to the face of the crowd, and the crowd even had the bitter beer face, like, ugh, that's not good. Especially when you have a merger coming up with Time Warner and Discovery, and the head executives want to know if they're going to continue and extend AEW, period. And if you're going to opening match, like a head executive who doesn't like wrestling, don't know wrestling, let me watch this product. Let me turn it on and see why should we keep this in rating wise? And you give me this. I mean, it was for an opening. It's an opening match, but usually AEW, when they put the opening matches to hump up the crowd and give us like really good stuff. I was surprised. I was actually surprised, and I was actually saddened by Johnny Morrison. He looked like he was not in a good place. He even climbing the ropes, he looked like he was scared. Like he was unbalanced. Like, did you notice that? Or
do you think he was just rusty from not performing?
But he looked like, and I hate to speculate.
Or do you think he was just caught in the moment?
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there. I don't want to say nothing negative on it, but he did not. He didn't look himself. He looked like he didn't know. He didn't seem like he was all there. I don't know. He like he's been checked out. He looked like he's been gone through some rough patches, and it showed on his performance. Because I know Morrison is better than that. He's a better in-ring competitor, and than that what he displayed on. And like you said, it might have been nerves.
Yeah, I will say this though. To me, it was still a good opener because it still got. Maybe it was just the fact that he was a Joker, so the fans just went crazy for just that fact alone.
I think so.
But it was still a good opener. And I'm glad they put this match first, because if this match was in the middle of the card like that, it could have been way worse. Maybe there's a chance of that, but otherwise, again, it was just a good match.
Okay, we could agree to disagree with that there. Good match and bad match, but all in all, it did get the crowd red hot. That's what you want, though. A lot of the crowd thought it might have been Johnny Gargano or Cesaro, but it wasn't. And then after the match, we get Samoa Joe winning with the Muscle Buster for the win, getting that pin. We saw some 450 splashes, Elite Cross. Some. All in all, when Joe gets his victory, he gets attacked, though. Here's the thing that got me a little. You took away that, okay, you got Johnny Elite here, Johnny Morrison. He's in now AEW. It makes it seem like this is a one and done. He was just a Joker for that wild card, and he's done. Because it took away the shine of the new guy in, because you got Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt came in, and Sanam Singh. They continued to feud with Joe. And what's your thought on that after? Do you thought it was excessive, or do you thought it was perfect?
Honestly, when that happened, I didn't know how to feel about it. I was just kind of like, so what's the story going forward? Are they trying to make Samoa Joe seem like an underdog? I guess, I don't know. I was just really confused on what they were trying to do.
Because and also I'm glad you mentioned confusion, because you don't know if that's part of it. Of course, it's part of the Ring of Honor storyline, but it's getting bleeding into AEW. Like, I don't know. Can we leave that for Rampage? I mean, that's my thought.
I don't know, because here's the problem when you have two companies and you're trying to make, I guess you say, one story merge with the other on two different brands. It's like you confuse your fans.
I'm confused.
Yeah, and honestly, I was just like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, are you trying to make Samoa Joe an underdog? Is he gonna be the face of the tournament? Because as we go through this review, I don't think there's any faces left. if I'm not mistaken. I think there's
We'll
like
get to it.
one. Yeah, it was just really confusing. That's all I gotta say.
And this match, I think I already know what your grade is, but if you give it from a letter standpoint, from an F to A, what's your thoughts on the match overall?
Without the crowd, this is probably like a D plus, but with the crowd, I give it a solid C.
Yeah, I'm agree. You know what? For you know what? Despite that, at the beginning we had different viewpoints, and we come with the same grade. I agree with you. I give it a C because of the crowd interjection, the Joker aspect. You know, it got everybody thinking of it, and it delivered for what the crowd wanted. You know, and you still got Samoa Joe over, even though he got attacked afterwards. The prop was good for Morrison, although I think you could put anyone, you could put the janitor from WWE to come out, and I think he'll get a big pop anyway in AEW just because he worked in the WWE. You know, anyone would cheer. So all in all, you know, I give it a C as well. You know, and it served its purpose. We shall move on from that there. You know, we saw backstage, we saw that Jeff Hardy was clear to compete in the ring backstage, and you saw them cutting a promo. Now we're seeing a little deception or the seed being planted even more each week. Hardy Boys, Young Bucks. So it's getting intense, you know, exchange with one another. The seed is planted. Let me ask you this. Do you think they'll have a showdown in Double or Nothing, or you think they're going to continue building it for later down the road?
They might. And I know for sure like they can have a good match because actually I've seen clips of them fighting in the Indies and they have really good matches.
They only fought one time, I think.
Oh yeah, well, one time then.
One time.
I saw that match then, and I know they can have a good match. So, they might fight a double or nothing. I don't know yet.
Would you like to? Let me ask the question: is would you like to see that done for Double Nothing, or would you like that for a different? Because remember, there's only AEW is limited with their pay-per-views. And they're far in between to make a big drawn out storyline.
That's true. I'd rather it be a double or nothing because I think the fans actually want to see it. Because if you're because like at the time I was a really hardcore wrestling fan and still by heart am. That's why I went looking for it on YouTube. So unless you're like that hardcore a fan, you never seen this match. You never even know they ever even touched each other. So if you really want Double or Nothing to really get the pay-per-view vibes, if you really wanted to get just that really good like over, you have to put this match on the card at Double or Nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, I would like to see it anyway. Despite even if they give it to me even if they put it on Rampage, I just want to see these four competitors in the ring and go at it. But with time to spare, I don't want, you know, that's why it works in Double Nothing.
Yeah,
where they could go over and they could go give us a solid 20-minute match.
Yeah, you want eyeballs on your product. This is a perfect match to do it.
I agree with you on that. And then we have a match. We have the World Heavyweight Title match defended with CM Punk was joining Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Jim Ross on the commentary position. None other than Hangman Page versus Kazuki Takasaki. Am I saying it correct? If I said it wrong, I apologize with that pronunciation.
My thoughts on this was I was like, okay, I get it. So we're doing the rinse and repeat of last week, but with the roles reversed. I was like, okay, so it might be more interesting just because obviously this guy is better than Long John Silver, but I'm like, that's not hard to top. But I'm like, on reality, I don't care. I already know who's gonna win. I'm like, I'm just interested in what CM Punk's gonna say on commentary. I'm like, just get this over with. And I honestly, after this, I kind of fell off the show a little bit because I was like, I'm not interested in what's happening right in front of me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
When I saw this match, I thought the same. I said, this is just a reverse of last week, you know, squash type of deal, something that WWE. I found this kind of WWE-ish. You know, we know, you know, they're gonna fight. They're gonna have a match coming up. They're just gonna showcase these match, typical squash match. And to be honest with you, I came away with, you know, Kurosaki Takisaki was really good. He really impressed me, man. This is a guy that if they keep him around the main roster, going forward, this will be a really good guy to keep around. He got over because he gave the, and I don't know if you want to. I don't know if they're catering to the New Japan Wrestling audience, knowing that Forbidden Door is coming up next month. And listen, look, we got one of your wrestlers, you know, one of your New Japan wrestlers here that we signed that came over, and he really gave a good program with the world champion at the time, and it was a good match. He got over. It was a good program. It wasn't a squash job. Your wrestling, your guys wrestling, no matter who it is, translates here in AEW going forward. And this card that we have coming up, it's going to be really interesting because you're not going to have duds. This is going to be, no matter who we put in the performance, we could fight with one another. You know, you had a huge leaping clothesline, Blue Thunder Bomb. You know, you got sparking comebacks from the challenger. You know, Paige hit with a tombstone to Manus ride the stun. You know, the opponents answered every minute later. They had a last ride power bomb, a Furies of Action. You know, Paige delivered his buckshot lariat, and all in all, I thought for a heavyweight champion, he had some adversity, and that's like, is that what Hangman probably wanted, some more ring time because he really hasn't wrestled much? Or what's your thoughts on that part? The match was solid. The match was good.
Yeah, like that's the thing about All Elite Wrestling is like no one's gonna complain about them in ring, you know. But I mean, honestly, like I just think, how do you pronounce his name again?
I might be butchering it. I might be butchering it. Takasaki. Takisaka. Takisaka.
I'm just gonna call him Takisaki, and I'm sorry if that's but yeah, I'm just gonna say that he does fit the All Elite Wrestling style, and honestly, I would like to see him more on that program.
Me too.
Like, it's a shame that he had to be put in this role where, I mean, granted, he did have a good showing, but what I mean by it's a shame that he had to be put in this role is like, I wish he was just in a bigger spot because I just didn't care about what happened in the ring. I really didn't. Because in order, like, it doesn't matter what kind of good match you put on or if it's really good or whatever. If people don't care about, what's happening in the ring, it doesn't matter how good your match is. They got to care first.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I hope he stays on that roster. I hope they book him well. Because it'd be great to see a young talent. I personally would like to see him have more time than some of these XWE wrestlers that are in there that are just not occupying space. That if they're talking about money, budget cuts, what is Paul White doing there? He's not really doing nothing.
I was just thinking about him too, and I saw an interview about him. And he was like, "Yeah, AEW is great and all that," and I was like,
"Yeah, but what do you do there?"
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know whatever.
Well, not to jump out of the topic there, but. I hope they keep this kid around. We saw now at the end of the match, you saw PCM Punk come up, psychological battle, stands in front there. They look at each other, hyping each other, fight out. All in all, yeah, we know that's coming up. We know that this match is coming here. Punk, attributing Takayaka's Blue Thunder Bomb. All in all, Hangman caught his opponent and rocked him with this form, and all in all, that stare down between champion and contender ended the segment. It served its purpose, yes. Like you said, you might have not been turned off. Let's go to the bottom line. What grade did you give the match? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give the match a B+ because the challenger, I thought he was going to get squashed. I thought it was going to be, here comes a Hammer and Hager, but no, it was good. It was entertaining, even though we knew what the outcome was going to be.
It's kind of hard to grade a match like this.
Okay,
I'll just give it a C to be fair.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. We could agree there. We could see that. We could respect that there. So now we move on to the next match, the next work. You got Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland versus it says the Workhorsemen. I mean, the worst name.
They were two jobbers. They're literally 0-4.
Of course. The Hammer Nagers. Let's go there. And of course, and advertised action, Swerving and Keith Lee look to keep up winning. They go to Horseman, Strickland, and Lee roll to a victory, putting Henry down. We all knew that this was a super duper squash job. You know, personally, they don't know what the hell they want to do with Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. And I'm gonna hold on. This is what I like to do every program that I do. Hey, I look into the camera and I say this with a lot of passion. Keith Lee, you suck. You totally suck.
Yeah, when I was watching this, I was like, your show does need a pick me up. I'm like, I need something to get excited for. And I'm sorry, but a jobber match with Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve or whatever, I'm like, or Swerve
No.
Strickland, sorry. I'm like, that's just not going to do it for me. And again, I was starting to fall off. I'm like, this show is starting to get boring. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what's happening in your ring. Matter of fact, I don't care about all the Swerve. Sorry,
Can I
Swerve.
can I
I,
chime in on something real quick?
hold on 1 second.
Hey, yes,
Uh,
sir. Give me one
uh,
second, Samurai.
what? I was like, I
Well,
don't care
I'm
about
I'm,
all
I'm
the.
gonna I'm gonna let him
I,
finish his thought.
I don't care about all the flips that they're doing. I don't care about Keith Lee's power spots. I don't care about this. I'm like, honestly, I would go as far as to say this was the most boring and arguably worst match of the night. I give it probably like a D or an F, and that's not even
Well,
the hate on Keith Lee. But yeah, I do see
Like
the
me, like
flaw.
me. You could
I
say it. You could
yeah,
say it.
I do see the flaws in Keith Lee, and they're really bad ones. He has no charisma, no personality, nothing interesting. He's just a big guy that can do flips.
You should be bouncing. You should be a
well,
bouncer somewhere. Go ahead,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mr. Samurai.
I'm gonna just say this again. AEW stands for all XWB guys, and that's what it is. That I can't even believe that. I heard a couple months back when Keith Lee first signed with the AEW, somebody said that he was a game changer. A game changer. He's not a game changer. I'm like, nobody's a game changer in AEW. It's just you fail to realize that AEW is essentially, yes, it may be an alternative to some people, but at the same time, it's just filled with nothing but XWB guys. And that's just how I feel about it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. That's all I want to say.
All right. Then we got Mr. Samurai joining us here from time to time here. He's producing backstage, so that's why you see him on the avatar with us there. My personal opinion with it, there's a reason why both Swerve and Keith Lee were no longer in the WWE plans. And like I say it every time I get close to the camera and I tell you, because they suck. They don't have the it factor. Now, can they find it in AEW? Of course he can, because Stardust did, and look at him now. He's a phenomenal character that goes over. But Keith Lee tried to cut a promo. It was cringeworthy. It's like, huh? He's in Texas and stuff like that. And then it's like, you know what? I started hearing the peanut gallery. Wah, 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 wah. And of course I shoot on Keith Lee a lot all the time. I of course I'm very biased against him, but because you don't got it. You just got into the business and you wanted to be entitled and you demanded so much in WWE. That's why he's not in the WWE. He wanted this, he wanted that, creative control, he wanted championship, he wanted this. No, you got to go through the bumps, my friend. Just because you're a big guy, you know what? So what? There were so many big guys in WWE before you, and they never really went anywhere. Yeah, he had an opportunity to be a unique talent, but his attitude, you could tell he has a bad attitude. You could see that he loses it, But I don't know. I'm giving the whole segment. I'm gonna give it a D because they actually are performers and they fulfill their contract obligations to go out there and perform in the ring. And that's why I'm not going to give him an F. No way, because it's easy for me to sit here behind a keyboard, behind a video monitor and say, oh, you suck. And you could have went out there. You could no, trust me. It does take athleticism. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and the craft to go out there and wrestle. So I'm going to give them a D on that.
Yeah, and I will say Cody Rhodes actually did find his footing even before he went to AEW. He
Yeah.
went to New Japan and all
In
that.
New Japan.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, even before all the wrestling was a thing.
He cracked that on this promo on Monday Night Raw. He said that he found his footing elsewhere, going around, and kudos to him. And I think that's what Keith Lee needs to be humble, and I think that's the same thing happened with Cody Rhodes. because I'm a second generation wrestler. I should be entitled, Randy Orton type of deal and stuff like that. But and he lost, and he had to get humble, and I think that's what this guy needs to be
Yeah,
in the indies and go forward on that.
yeah. Especially nowadays in wrestling, I think the best way to get over, at least for some wrestlers, is just to flat out come off like a human being, like Cody Rhodes is right now, and like Daniel Bryan did in 2014.
Yeah. So we after the match, after the squash job was over, all of a sudden we get an interruption here. We got Ricky Starks coming out here with Hobbs. And again, it looks like a mess, to be honest with you. With with everyone coming from everywhere, and then of course you get the tag champions come out with Christian, and pretty much Christian accepts the tag title match on behalf of Jurassic Express. What's your thoughts on that one? Diff Man in the building. Oh, from the Greek Fest. Oh man, he's having some good food too.
Yeah. And my thoughts were, I kind of hope Jungle Boy, because I'll be honest with you, Jungle Boy besides Christian was probably like the only name I was like really excited to see. So Jungle Boy was like the first guy I was like, okay, I actually like it. You're over with me.
You don't like Luchasaurus?
I do, but there's something about them that kind of like doesn't stand out quite yet. You know what I mean? We'll talk about one guy later that actually does that. Wears a mask. Yeah, but like Jungle Boy, I'm like, this guy's ceiling is high. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm like, I can't wait for that moment where he finally gets a chance to stand out and go out on his own. But yeah, Luchasaurus, I mean, he's good for what he is right now. But I mean, could he be better than Jungle Boy in the future? Sure, but like, I don't know. Overall, for the segment, I was like, okay, it's cool. It does give you hype because AEW, especially with these characters, they have a really good match and a really good story too. But I was like, all right, I'm in, but am I like really invested to the point where like it's gonna make me buy the pay-per-view?
Interesting.
Probably not. I'm like, if I'm being honest with you, I'm like, but I guess a little bit 50-50 too. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this whole feud.
All right. That card, and they got next week to convince people that are on the fence about their pay-per-view. Next week is the final Monday Dynamite before the actual Double or Nothing. But we move on to the next segment, and at that moment we get a backstage promo. We see Jade Cargill interrupts a promo between one of her baddies, Red Velvet, and her insults Chris Statlander. Now, Chris Statlander, you saw Jade Cargill make a reference about the alien character that she was, and does it seem like Jade Cargill, like she only wrestles for Rampage? I never see her on Dynamite. I'm glad to saw her cut a promo there, but the best part of the night was when she told Shivani, I think he was an asshole, or what do you call him? He said something that she cursed online. I don't know, something like on him. And so I was like, yes, you know what? I like that, Jade Cargill. Call him, say it again.
A bunch of these females sound the same to me when they cut a promo. I don't know why. They just do. When they cut a promo, I'm just like, can one of you just stand out, please? I'm like, none of you stand out.
Ladies and gentlemen, though, the views and the actions of Heel is not part of the Jedi Sports Network. All his thoughts are his affiliation, not ours, and that's why he wins the Pig of the Week award.
It's so true, though. It's like all of them just seem like generic, like female wrestlers that you would see on like WWE2K if you were to build a character. Like, yes, you got like Ruby Soho, and we'll talk about one later that I think actually has some promises he stays there. But I'm just like, can any of you actually show some character, please? Like, is that so much to ask for? Like, how come every week when I tune in, all of you just sound like a bunch of like stuck up, you know what? I'm like, Jesus.
Oh,
anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So we move on to the next segment, which is Warlow taking the 10 lashes from MJF. I like when MJF comes down. He comes out, and he brings Sean Spears in. The crowd, of course, is booing. He says he knows that he's not in Long Island, and he cuts the music, and he just says, "Bring in the pig." And of course, Warlord still handcuffed. With
That's
that
me, by the way.
As they bring him down the ring ramp there, MJF starts whipping him, and it seemed like nothing is phasing this guy Warlord until he got like around the 8th or 9th, and then bam, you see MJF low blows Warlord. What's your thought on that segment with the lashes?
Oh, as soon as I saw this segment happening, I'm not gonna lie, I got hyped. I was like, "Oh my god, MJF!" But the crowd at Houston, you can think even they were into it. They were like, "Boo, boo!" And I think I even heard a MJF, "You suck!" And of course, I think it was with the whip and all that. And he was just torturing Warlow, trying to get him to break the contract and whatever. And he even kicked him in the balls at one point. And the only part that was a big mess up, and I will never let this go because how funny it was, is when the MJF was like, let's see if he can win to face me at All or Nothing or whatever it was. And then literally at the bottom, MJF forced Warlow at All or Nothing, this time and whatever, And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's not even MJF or Warlow's fault. That's on the monkeys in the back, so to speak. I'm like, you don't show that, especially during a big feud like this.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, if I MJF, I am furious if I saw that on TV. Yeah.
Could it be a botch job? Because what situation is happening be outside the ring. Beginning of the burying situation of MJF. Who knows?
I don't know, but that was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen.
Because they don't do they might botch some wrestling moves, but when it comes to production, I gotta admit they're not that bad. They're really on point when it comes to production. Nuts and bolts AEW wise. Their producers, their graphics, their pyros, everything's not bad. It does not look cheap whatsoever though. That's one thing. That's why I think AEW has really excelled. They're not a cheap promotion when it comes aesthetic wise.
I don't know, but that was just the biggest botch I've seen in a while.
Makes you want to keep an eye on that. If there's botches on MJF's promos or things on the bottom, submit beginning of the burial of MJF character in AEW. Who knows there? Now, all in all, that segment. Of course, I liked it. I loved it because you saw yes, chef kiss, because you saw MJF melts down when his lashes didn't work, and it worked fantastic. You also had MJF. You had Warlow smirking at MJF when the lashes, when he was lashing him. It was a great moment. It put over just so much when. He was just there, especially when the loudmouth got upset more, and he did it. He got JF out of character, supposedly with storyline upset, and beat him up there. And I noticed, did you notice MJF the abundant spray tan on his hands? He left that dark residue all over his body.
I think so. I think I did, if I remember correctly. And I don't know. I would. Honestly, I was just captivated by the whole segment because, honestly, when MJF is on TV, it doesn't. Again, he has the Miz effect where he takes you away from the fact that you're watching an event or even at an arena. He just has you so invested in what's happening that you just forget almost where you are. You're kind of just zoomed in on what's happening. If that makes sense.
Okay, so I gave that whole segment an A. That segment was perfect.
That's an A+.
Yeah, that's a perfect segment. Segment there. I think anything these two performers, Rollo and JF, phenomenal work together. I hope their match is another A themselves. I hope it's not a quick dud or doesn't live up to the hype. but the feud has been A+ so far. I just hope the match. I'm afraid that the match might not, but we shall see there in Double or Nothing if they get a hands, because next week is Steel Cage, and with them it's pretty much a handicap match. It's going to be Spears in a handicap against MJ. Warlord, and MJF is the special guest referee, so you could say pretty much 2-on-1 in the cage going forward there. But we'll move on to the next one. It is another one. It is the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart men's tournament. You had Kyle O'Reilly versus Rey Fenix in a match where Phoenix took to the air, but O'Reilly caught him and delivered 2 consecutive butterfly suplex in a cool spot. Phoenix and O'Reilly trade a rebound of hook kicks and clothesline, respectively, and counter prevailed late. The finish was excellent, and the payoff was everything that it perceived. What was your thought on this match between Kyle O'Reilly and Rey Fenix?
This to me was match of the night. And Rey Fenix, I mean, if people don't believe it now, you can watch this match and see why I consider him to be one of the best luchadors right now in all of the world. Because, like, literally, I mean, granted, there was technically a story behind this match, but not like a huge one. But you can definitely see why Rey Fenix is who he is. And Kyle O'Reilly, I mean, again, another good, to great performer, at least wrestling wise. I mean, these two just said, you know what, we're gonna go in there and have a great match because that's what we need to do. And to me, they tore the house down. Like, this was just back and forth, nice competition. It even got to a point where I was like, is someone just gonna interfere and break this up? When they didn't. And they got me so invested that I was actually cheering for Rey Fenix. I was like, come on, Rey Fenix. I'm like, you got this. And when a wrestling match has that to a point where, like, you're picking sides and you're invested like that, it's doing their job right. And then, and Kyle O'Reilly won it. And when he won, I was actually legit pissed. And yeah, I thought to myself, I was like, wow, the fact that they grabbed those types of emotions out of me, I was like, that goes to show this match was easily match of the night. Because I'll be honest with you, one big problem that AEW has, at least with me personally, is like it's rare for me to get invested in the match like that. So, match of the night right here.
It was. You could have even opened with this match, but it to me personally, it was a great match that highlighted both men and earned Kyle O'Reilly a signature AEW singles victory. And this is setting the bar high for the remainder of the night of the broadcast. Can they compete with this match? Although we all know what was the main event, and we'll get to that when we get to that part. Owen Hart and Adam Cole, and you guys, not for nothing, you guys got the name brand on there, but O'Reilly and Phoenix, they provided the bar. Can you go above and beyond this bar set there? And personally, I think Kyle O'Reilly was the right guy to get over. I know you're going to disagree with me because due to the fact that they were trained and they have admiration to the Harts, and I think personally that went over. But I hope Kyle O'Reilly wins this tournament, although I doubt it. But all in all, I give this match myself an A to borderline A+,
yeah.
but I give it an A.
Chef's kiss for all elite wrestling. Yeah.
And for that match. Wow, that was good. That was a good one. And then they give you Chris Jericho and William Regal face to face. Okay, it's like, I guess pretty much you could say it was a promo. And that part of the segment of AEW was sponsored by Metamucil. Because when you're backed up, you see the crap that you're gonna watch between Regal and Jericho. Now,
it literally was like two grandpas just be like, "This is my yard. No, it's my yard. My yard." That's the way I took it.
Well, Jericho did. I hope that they spoke and backstage and they rehearsed what they were gonna speak about. Because Jericho did get a little bit personal. Kind of breaking the fourth wall there with. We all know that if you know Steven Regal's history, William Regal, In his past, he's gone through addictions where, struggled with addiction, alcoholism, cocaine addiction, so forth. He had his trouble past, and, wrestling has helped him from time to time, continue to have a steady job, fight those demons, those inner workings.
Yeah, but he can
And
handle it because he's a
okay,
men's man. If you get what
okay,
I'm saying. Yeah.
I got you. I know from that gimmick.
Yeah.
And I love the fact when Regal said, Jericho, when you used to go out and wrestle, backstage, when you were go wrestle, I would take your toothbrush and put it in my ass. That was hilarious. He used to wipe his rear end with his Jericho's toothbrush. That was fun. That was funny. Back and forth there. All in all, the segment, what I liked also Moxie when he said, we ain't doing your stadium stampede match. We want to show violence in here in the ring. I like that too. They kind of putting an angle here like we're gonna wrestle. We're gonna have a match between sports entertainers versus hardcore wrestling, and that's what I think that's what the program was at least showing us. What's your thoughts on that one?
This match sounds like a great. I'll be honest with you. This match sounds better than NyQuil. Because I don't care about John Moxley says Dean Ambrose, the two grandpas. They can fight it out if they want to. That's fine. Like like I said before, I'm not a fan of the Jericho Appreciation Society. The Daniel Bryan should do something better than the Blackpool Fight Club or whatever. And I'm just not interested in this. I'll be honest with you. That's why at the beginning when you were talking about it, I was just like.
And for those that are listening us on the audio platform, I am going to reveal a spoiler. So please forward it and apologies for anyone who's a spoiler who's going to listen to this tomorrow night. And the spoiler will be coming out tomorrow at morning, and the spoiler will be coming out tomorrow night in Rampage. Daniel Bryan is injured. Last night they have the elevated platform similar to AEW days, where there's it's just a straight walk, no uphill, up climb, like or long. And Daniel Bryan's foot got caught in between the ring and the platform, and it took about 10 minutes to be removed. To technicians to come and try to lodge his foot. I mean, the most freakish injury. He was seen limping. He was very irate with officials. He was pushing and shoving when he got freed. He tried to walk back on his own power to limp, but he was a very, very suspicious limp there. I don't know if he'll be able to even compete for at least another 2 to 3 weeks. And now with Wheeler Yuta in the tournament, in the Cruiserweight tournament away from AEW, this might throw a batch to the Jericho Society 10-man match or whatever, not the Stadium Stampede because they said they're not going to do it, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see next week if how Daniel Bryanson, how serious that injury was, but it was a serious injury because if you look at the videos, I'm sorry I couldn't upload it, but if you see the pictures, they also didn't want to spoil it for Rampage coming out tomorrow, but I had to talk about it. Spoiler alert, because we don't know what this feud is going to go next with another man down. So it looks like they're never going to have the 10-man required to do this. At this point, I don't know. It's like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of these wrestlers just need to be better booked and need to do other things. Like I'm just not into this whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree. I can see why. And then that segment ends, and Danielson did not get hurt there yet, but it's coming out later on for Rampage that they have a match. And we go on now to the other quarterfinal in the Owen Hart Women's Tournament with the other Joker. So everybody was soon in on their feet. And of course, again, they have a chance here to captivate the audience. And again, AEW decides to bury the women at the 9:30 slot. This is why. And of course, everyone thinking to Miss Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks and Naomi, don't go to AEW, because this is what your future is going to be waiting for you. A 9:30 match where no one really gives a crap. They're going to book you at 9:30, or they're going to put you in dark or elevation. If you do go there, which I don't think they will, but I'm just giving you a warning, a stern warning. And you're just gonna be frustrated even worse, and they're not gonna respect that fact because the women's match should not be a match before the main event where everyone is like,
Yeah, and I just wish the women had more, like, well, I should say more, but I just wish they all had a character. Like, honestly, if you gave me a quiz as to which woman is which, besides like Ruby Soho, I couldn't tell you.
I
I
agree,
don't.
I get you, I
Yeah,
get you. and,
yeah.
and that's what the future's gonna lay there. It's gonna be that. And what? All right, you two ladies are gonna show up and you're gonna work for the first feud with the baddies, and then what? And then what? Really? And then what? Ladies, stick with Vince. He knows what he's doing. So I digress. We'll get back to that. So we have the Joker where everyone said, "Oh, it's gonna be Sasha Banks. Oh, it's gonna be so and so," and nope. All and behold, I never heard of her. Mika Toda. Did you ever heard of her? I never heard of her.
I think I heard of her like once or so. I ironically, when they said she was like an idol, if that's true, then I might have heard her ironically from my girlfriend who's not even a wrestling fan.
Okay,
Yeah,
I am not
I'm just taking
I
a
don't
guess
like the
though. If
Japanese.
that's the case.
I'm not a Japanese anime guy or New Japan wrestling. No,
Well,
that's not gonna be me. I'm you're not gonna find that for myself, and I apologize for not knowing because I can't get into New Japan wrestling. I tried watching it even when Jim Ross was calling it. I could not get into it. I'm sorry, not my cup of coffee. Maybe call me a tribal wrestling fan. It is what it is. I just can't get into it.
I was actually into this for one reason because I liked her gimmick and she actually stood out to me. She
Okay.
grabbed my attention. I was like, wow, she's different from all the other girls that just like are like, oh my god, we're gonna kick your butt. Why? Because I'm gonna talk like this, and this is what's gonna get me over. In reality, I'm just gonna get mixed up with other girls, and blah blah blah. It's like no, she actually came out. She had a character. I'm like, I get it. Some people are gonna be into it, like you were, and that's fine. And I knew she was gonna lose, but I was like, I'm actually kind of into this because she had a character coming into this.
I
Her character was like she was an idol from Japan, and I was like, I'm into that.
And I know they said that she worked with was a tag team partner with Britt Breaker back I don't know where the hell, but somewhere they were tag team partners. They knew each other, and you know Ito fired up after Baker slammed her head into the top turnbuckle, which really helped bring the crowd into the closing position of the match. You could tell they were a little snooze fest, but all in all, you saw.
Yeah, I liked her clumsy, her like almost like clumsy like gimmick though. She wrestled like her own thing. I'm like, I'm digging this. Actually, she stood out, and not just because she's Japanese, but because she had her own way of wrestling. She had her own little thing. I'm like, that's neat. Like, see, wrestling doesn't take that much when you think about it.
I mean,
So
all right. We saw
yeah,
Baker win, and of course, Storm comes out at the ramp, stands there, and has tension between her and all setting up Baker and Storm. They stare at each other down after the match to put over the semifinal match next week. So they're preview that there. Once again, bad booking. People were like, you know what, let's go, let's get the main event then. And the thing was, it just kind of ran out of time, was running out of time. You look at that because one thing about Dynamite, they never go like Raw. If the match is still if it's still 10, 5 minutes to 11, Vince will do whatever, even if it has to go. I've seen Raw finish at 11:25, 11:30. So I know they're gonna go whatever. They're gonna go above and beyond, exceed to give you a good match, even if they have to go over their network time, because I think Vince buys all that time anyway.
yes, USA and whatever SmackDown is, they allow them to because they've earned a lot of respect from their networks because Vince is just a genius like that when it comes to wrestling. And on top of that, they know WWE is like the MLB and the MLB and the NBA of wrestling. If it earns you a lot of money, why are you gonna take that off air when you have what like Modern Family? Like, no offense to like that because it's still a popular show, but WWE live wrestling is that's your bread and butter. if you're USA.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they cut. I would like them to allow AEW and tell AEW don't abuse your opportunity, but don't abuse it every week. But if you need to go over, let production know, because let's face it, to see another American Dad rerun episode, give us the proper closure to certain matches, not botcher or rush, and that's what brings us now. We saw, let me see what else we have here. Oh, because they decided because I think this was a waste of time personally. Serena Deeb, the Serena
the main event was Jeff Hardy and who was it? Jeff Hardy and somebody else.
Adam Cole.
Yeah,
Baby.
Adam Cole.
Baby.
Adam Cole, baby, and I saw that it went on at, what was it, 9:54?
9:54. 6
and
minutes.
They had a match. They had a match for about 4 minutes, and then it went off the air.
And the thing is, that's them their fault, because they decided they needed to do a Serena Deeb promo. Now, I don't know why. Serena Deeb gets upset, gets the upper hand in her tournament. She comes out to answer Sonya Shivani, and then she calls Dustin Rhodes and says that she cannot be defeated. Thunder Rose had double nothing. Pretty much shoots on him, and of course Thunder Rosa comes out, and to me the whole segment was like, there's something called less is more, and we really didn't need to have this promo. Can you have done that on Rampage?
Yeah, like Rampage is AEW's like SmackDown. It's like if it's something you can't fit onto Dynamite, just fit into Rampage.
I agree, and they also have Dark. They have also YouTube program, Dark Elevation, and whatever the other stuff on there. Cut the promo. It didn't. They took away from an opportunity to give us a match. Like, whoa, here we go. Everybody qualifying, the final qualifying semifinal match, Owen Hart versus Adam Cole. Everybody was like, man, this match is going to be good, but is there enough time? And even with them coming in with that short amount of time, well, this is another thing. And I'm glad they do the picture-in-picture, but are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? You're going to give me another commercial break here when you got these two with only 6 minutes left? Can you have given that commercial with Serena Deeb and let her cut the promo and people in the stadium and in the arena? Now we don't need to see that on TV. There, I'm like, that was a head scratcher move here.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it is what it is.
And of course, you see the match between these two guys, Cole attacking Hardy prior to the match. The Bucks come out later. What's your thoughts on the match? Did you agree with the win? The miss one-time bomb.
Here's why. And see, someone can correct me down below. Yes, again, say what you want. This was a good match. All you wanted. I get it. AEW puts on good matches, and that's true.
I didn't think it was.
But it was a solid match. I'll say that. But let's all be real. When we look at the Final Four in this Owen Hart Foundation tournament, I don't think there's a single babyface. And if you think anyone that knows wrestling, that's a problem. Because now, any fans that are going to tune into AEW, they're going to be like, who do I cheer for? Yes, I get it. There's some still big names like Adam Cole, Samoa Joe. And yes, maybe the names alone are going to get you to be like, okay, to tune in. But as soon as they realize they're a heel, they're gonna be like, okay, so is this other guy a face? When in reality he's not. I mean, I guess Samoa Joe's now technically a face, but then again, not. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know. If you think about it, this tournament's kind of turning into a mess because, unless there's like a big face turn at the end, I don't know. I don't know. I'm left here kind of like questioning a lot of things.
I could see that with the tournament, how that got you worried and those questions that you have that you're asking. When I'm looking at the things, I'm looking at it again and thinking about it. You know what? I think Cole deserved the win. yes, he deserved it. I don't want to see Jeff Hardy anymore.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But again, like you see the bracket for yourself. It's like
No, I
who?
see. I get what you
Yeah.
mean. I get what you mean. I know exactly your argument that you're mentioning there, but then the competitors that they put in this tournament didn't do no service to AEW. Didn't put the right guys. I personally don't think Samoa Joe would deserve to be in that tournament. Personally, you just got here, brother. You just got here the other day. You know it's good enough. You bad enough. They gave you the ROH title. You should have just taken, like in the words of Richard Pryor, have a coke and have a coke and a smile and shut the bleep up. You know, to go over there. They should have put another wrestler who in there. And personally, one of the lucha, we had Rey Fenix, but maybe Ricky Stark, something somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Are they just
That
going off
type.
the reactions? Is that good enough for them or something? I don't know.
I just don't think he deserved it. I don't think he deserved to be in there.
Well, he was a big name, so that's why they were like, throw him in the tournament.
But
So
he just got the thing is you just got here. What?
yeah, I understand that.
There's seniority and pecking order, and this is why personally, I think that's why the young talent that AEW originals or who've been with it from day one, when their contract is up, I don't see them renewing because you get pushed aside for the newest thing. You don't tell me there are guys like Jungle Boy, MGF, Warlord, they don't feel pushed aside for the new flavor or ex-WWE wrestler that got signed. You don't think, they're making a big deal and everyone else is an afterthought. What about Dark Order, who was there, one of the staples that were all there carrying the company in the beginning, and so forth. And just this is my opinion with that there. All in all, I think the match was too rushed. You could tell it was rushed. You knew it was rushed, and it wasn't pretty. Especially when you got these two competitors that there was a better match in there involved. And I'm gonna give it a D, man, because again, I'm not gonna give it an F because both guys are competitor. But
I don't know what to give it. I guess around a D plus or C minus, somewhere on that.
and then you had chaos after that. Like, can't you just end the match, the guys, and then you gotta have all this chaos that it was like, really, you saw you saw a wild brawl that included the Matt Hardy, the Young Bucks, Sting, Darby Allin, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. Is like go 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 type of deal. Like everyone in the go, everybody go go go. They're giving out shrimps at the buffet. Run go. It's like
Yeah, and when Sting got involved, I was like, really? You're telling me old Sting is gonna take a bump? I'm like, I thought his job was just to be a manager, or like at least like an assistant Darby Allin. But okay,
Sting is just there for a paycheck. Let's face it.
yeah.
All in all, that main event again. I don't know why AEW does this with their main events. It just like keeps you like, huh? We saw it with the ROH Women's title. We saw it. All in all, over and over, their main events is it is either you get that kind of main event heel, or you get at the last minute a new WWE wrestler shows up 5 minutes before the show. And of course, I guess they must have been hearing me saying that Shivani wets his pants all the time. Fans, we gotta go. He's here. We gotta go. We're out of time. And they haven't been doing that in a while, ever since I've been on the platform complaining about it. But it is old WCW days. But all in all, how you say the whole card was? I give the card a B because it did entertain us for the 2 hours that it was on.
It was so
roller
up and
coaster.
down, that every time it got boring, it got boring. Every time it got exciting, it got exciting. I think a fair rating for the show, honestly, probably like a C plus.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with a C.
Almost a B if the main event was just a lot more better, I guess.
More time. If they if you would have gave me the time, and of course I'm a big, you could say, oh, Jedi, you're hypocritical because you sit there pleasing NXT and WWE with the women's division, and meanwhile you're shitting on the AEW division.
And that's another thing. And that's another thing. Even if there was like one or two more segments that are at least entertaining, I probably even would have pushed it to like a B minus, but I can't.
Right.
I just can't.
If they would have done away with the segment with prior to that, with Dustin Rose and Saraya J and all that. They would have got rid of that. That would have been fine. They could have done without that. They could have been done with the Keith Lee. There, the match could have been there, the squash match, but all that other shenanigans at the end of it with the promos, that went a little too long. If they would have get, you got to of course, even though he sucks, you got to let him wrestle from time to time. So you got to put him on the, CV pops. But all the extracurricular activity we could have done without. I think, but all in all, it would have been a good match because you got the Kyle O'Reilly Phoenix was a very good match. The MJF match was really good. The starting match was also good. Not the starting match, the heavyweight title match was very good too, despite the fact we knew what was going to happen. And both the qualifying men's matches were they could just it wasn't the greatest. But let's see. AEW does its thing. Next Wednesday is going to be the Dynamite before the pay-per-view, and it's going to be a long holiday weekend, and folks could stay up late to watch this, or they're going to be away of town, and they got to try to hook us, try to get us there, and try to get us like, whoa, I gotta, Saturday night, I gotta order this pay-per-view. I gotta watch it. I'm gonna order it, call a bunch of friends over so we could barbecue, get together. Let's watch it. Bring the cold ones because it's Memorial Day weekend. Let's do this, and they gotta show us what they got. They gotta give us a card here. Not too many matches are announced, but I think they'll deliver. They're gonna be in Vegas, right? Anyway, the same city of the venue. It'll be interesting to see what. I hope they're able to deliver. AEW because in Nassau Coliseum, in the UABA arena in Long Island, they really put on a great show. Those that don't know, they did another promo afterwards when they bought Danhausen and CM Punk came out. Danhausen and Hook, CM Punk got in the ring with Hook briefly. Hook suplex CM Punk, CM Punk job there. He likes to play the heel, but try to put over Hook, which was a nice little segment there, and left everyone in Long Island happy. Went home happy, so Danhausen and Hook are starting to become over. That was, dark match afterwards that concluded that program. And all in all, let's see what AEW does next. I'm keeping an eye on them with the dirt sheet, and of course we will keep our eyes and our thoughts with what's going on in WWE with Naomi and Sasha. The more I hear it, the more I hear other folks talk about it. It is not this is a work. This is a promo, folks. This is a promo. There is a little truth to it, yes, but this is one thing, and credit Billy Ray and his podcast with Dan LaGreca on satellite radio. They had the Road Dog, Jesse James or Jesse Armstrong on, and they were talking about that, and I was listening to it, and they were like, what, this looks like it's a work, because one thing, breaking the 4-4, and they say, well, WWE wouldn't have made that statement and came out in front like that. Yeah, who is in WWE knew that was in the opposite side? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has creative interests now. They're bringing a little bit of a personal life situation into the breaking that 4-4. Also, if the WWE would have came out with that statement and called Naomi and Sasha Mercedes by their government name or their real names, then I would like, what, this might be dope. This is serious. This is some serious stuff. I just, maybe call me cynical, call me naive, or whatever the case is. I think this is a work. I think this is not. I think this is an angle. I believe more and more it's an angle, especially after we heard Toxic Attraction make fun out of that in NXT as well. I don't know. I think I'll have more of a explanation towards it, but I was listening to all around different podcasts about it. From the wrestlers, ex-wrestlers who's been there. And everyone says the same thing. Even Jim Corderas, the former WWE referee, he comes down on the wrestling podcast, the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I listened to that briefly just to listen to see, and he also, when you're a performer, in-ring performer, you get paid for, even though you're a private independent contractor, you get paid to do a job. No matter what are the outcome, you go and you do it, and then you speak about it afterwards. To just leave and quit minutes before the match, that doesn't happen. Although Jeff Hardy walked out and he left, but he got his release. He actually left in the middle of a match. He just went through the crowd and just disappeared in WWE. But that was, but I don't know there's more to be told here. We'd love to hear, we haven't heard nothing from the ladies at all.
I think it might be at work, and you know how the WWE is. They're genius at getting people to talk. Yeah, that's why their company's never gonna die, at least not in our lifetime. They're so smart when it comes to this. And I even saw Chase a week ago comment it's at work, so yeah, I mean I'm leaning towards that. Yeah, it's at work.
It's a work. To me, it's a work. And it could be a good way for Sasha to take some time off without dropping the titles. And we don't know what situation, and all in all, different things there. Let me ask that.
That's what it is.
Yes, Samurai, I wanted to ask you, what's your thoughts on that? Because I know you're a big WWE correspondent here.
Well, basically, I think that it's a worksheet, meaning that it's trying to get the attention on them, and they're doing it because of what's going on in AEW. They say that they don't think AEW is competition or anything like that, but they're doing it because of AEW and because of what's going on.
I wouldn't go that far. I would just say they're doing it because they know it's obviously entertaining and it gets people talking.
Well, that's where I was going with that.
I agree with you on that. With and I'm going to push back on your thought. With it is like it with a AEW aspect. You got Cody Rhodes, who knows the playbook of he was creative vice president.
Vince, Vince was asked by Pat McAfee, I believe it was. He was like, "Do you think? Do you look at other wrestling promotions even nowadays as competition?" He's like, "I see everything as competition. Whether it's like football, anything, everything's competition."
Right, and going doing that, and also there's been talks in the AEW locker room of a lot of separation or not all one unit. You got guys unhappy with the situation. Of course, some folks are upset with we all know MJF is the big pain in the neck there with the contract dispute. Some folks are saying he don't deserve another new contract. They're gonna, because Khan says he's willing to give him more money as long as he signs a couple-year extension, and MJF says no, I want to wait until I'm a free agent to get as much money as possible. And they say they shouldn't pay him an extra. So there's a lot of division in there. The lock, they say it's chaotic in AEW behind the stage. I know that Tony Khan wrote shot on Vince McMahon saying, how could you have a show that you change it last minute on Mondays? What do you have done all weekend? I work my butt off. And they say that the matches in AEW, they don't even know who's going to win or what's the outcome. Prior to it is a lot of dissension and chaos with it, and you're starting to hear a lot of behind the scenes stuff from AEW coming out now. Could it be that's why they did that work with Sasha, make it look like they're going? WWE has a little bit of a locker room issue.
It could be a little bit of a like almost like a parody of that.
They're making fun out of it. I mean, because
kind of
Sasha's over all over the place. WWE has got her, made her like a, not just a, she's an ambassador. She's she's on. You go you before WrestleMania, her picture was plastered on the buses in New York City, billboards, the merchandise. She's over. I don't. The thing is, that's why I don't see. And it's not like women is being mistreated in the WWE. I mean, I'm not there, so I'm not there. But
no, they're not, because they have them everywhere. They have them on other television networks. They have their own show now. Women main event WrestleManias now in WWE. They main event Raws. They get treated. I mean, heck, they even did a thing on YouTube and other words like, you're no longer referred to as divas. You're now known as just superstars. I mean, women are treated like so well.
And they actually work to actually went to the nation of Saudi Arabia, and they said, you know what, my women are wrestling here. You want the show, you want WWE, my ladies have to. Remember the first few shows they didn't allow any women there. Remember?
Yeah.
And maybe now the ladies are wrestling there. You know, McMahon and say, you know, you guys gotta come get with the time. They got, you know, you gotta allow the women to wrestle and stuff like that. And the respect that, and also remember Stephanie McMahon is in creative control there as well. You know, it's not just a sexist or male dominated booking there.
Apparently, she's taking time off as well.
Yes,
so,
I heard that this morning. I heard that this morning as well.
Yeah, I saw Johnny Gargano replied to her tweet, and he said she deserves it.
Yeah, she works extremely hard, and also she needs to. Her husband needs some time off. He almost died. He needs, you know, they have a bunch of children. Take some time off, you know, get rejuvenated with the family, and there's gonna be plenty and come back stronger, better than ever. In my opinion, there. But with that said, before we get going, we kind of tease a little bit of it. The new wrestling organization ready to come out. You see them on Wednesdays and Fridays, and they're gonna go under their brand name. And the wrestling organization formerly known as AEW now is ABW, All Botch Wrestling. And here's the first take of the All Botch Wrestling of the week. Johnny Moore said, "Fuck the ball first, any business." Oh, no! Wow, what you thought about that first botch?
It was funny. It was like it's you know it's a flip, and it's like, oh, I get him. No, I didn't get him.
Talk about knee burns. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ay. And then not done. That's only once. He does it again. Here's another one. Oh, wrong one. Wrong clip. This is live and in color, folks. So when you're live and in color, anything can happen. Wow.
Totally. You know what? I know in this network we also cover the Yankees podcast, and I would say if John Morrison was a pitch, that would have been a nasty Nestor Cortez cutter. Oh yeah, because he definitely made Samoa Joe Smith on that one.
Not only, oh my God, he you saw that he couldn't even climb on the rope. That's why I said there's something looked like he was under like some painkillers, some alcohol, drugs. He couldn't have his balance, equilibrium, just to climb up the rope there. It was bad. He looked nervous. Do you want to see that clip again, or did you notice that?
I actually did when I saw it. I was like, did he get him? I was like, I don't think he got him. I was like, oh well.
No, not only that. Prior to doing the moonsault, whatever he attempted there, he couldn't climb up the rope. He was on disoriented climbing the rope. He looked like he was on, you know.
I think it's just ring rust. That's just my guess, because it looked like he just hasn't been in the ring, so he's gotten released.
Samurai, what do you thought of that one?
Well, that was horrible. But he has been in the ring. He's been wrestling. He's been wrestling. He was in was it AAA, I think. So he doesn't have ring rust.
But did you see when he climbing the rope though? When you saw how he was unbalanced, unsure, like you know, he was
like that was horrible.
That was weird. That looks like when, you know, if you're intoxicated or inebriated to get up on a rope. And I'm not suggesting that or saying that, but it looks it. You know, it's a concerning issue if they are not fully, you know, with all their scruples there, you're gonna hurt someone and kill someone or yourself there. As we're gonna see,
exactly. As we're gonna see. I get what you're saying. Him and Samoa Joe. I mean, I never heard anything about them wrestling together, so I don't know what their chemistry is like. So, you know,
obviously it wasn't so great, but we will go over there. And then here's another one, part of the AEW in the main event. One of the an icon. I didn't even think. Look at this botch move.
Yeah. He barely even got his foot on him. That's what's so funny about that.
I mean, he's old, so you got to protect the head, I guess.
They didn't even kick him in the head. They missed completely.
No,
They missed completely. They just tapped him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
You might as well just giving him a forearm instead of the super kick, double forearm or something. It would have looked more cleaner and look. It would have been nicer. But it is what it is. We got some more Hammer Nager's botch. Here's another one of this Hammer Nager move.
All I can say is, like I said, he may be gone, but Long John Silver has inspired a generation.
Who was that? That did that Tope Suicida failure?
Be honest with you, I know he botched it, and I'm like, I just put it down there, and I'm like, who cares?
His wrestling name is White Guy Red Shorts.
His wrestling name means AEW released.
Yeah.
I don't even think AEW really have they even released anybody at all in the 3 years?
No. What they do is they let the contracts expire and they don't re-up them, which is okay. So if you sign a 2-year deal and you suck, you're gonna be there for 2 years. Doing not. You might not be on TV, but you're not gonna get released.
They're pretty much, they I don't know what they're doing as far as AEW. All XWE guys, like they should really rebrand themselves as, because it's not elite wrestling, it's all XWE wrestling.
And of course, we got two more. We got the king of all botches here, and then we're gonna have the Hall of Famer. But first, here's the one that was from last week.
The Islanders sweater has the Islanders trunk, lands on his feet. Silver is in his home area. He stumbled, but he still got it. He's recovered.
The poor little guy. He needed a step stool to get on the second rope. Help! Yes. And of course, go ahead, Samurai. Before we give our last one.
Yeah.
Okay. He's in there with CM Punk too. So.
Yeah. He was the first valid Hall of Famer when it comes to.
Well, we have our Hall of Famer, our first entry into the Hall of Fame, and here we go. Oh man!
As I said before, Kira Hogan, her moonsaults are horrible.
She should not be doing no more moonsaults, please. No.
I like the crowd's reaction. They're like, "What are we watching?"
If I'm a significant other, fiance, please, I don't need you doing any somersaults while we're being intimate, please. I need
her That old guy in the crowd at the end, that's what made me laugh.
All in all, before we set the segment off, we all heard the big news coming in August. One last time, the Nature Boy Ric Flair will be stepping in the ring for his final match, 6-man tag. We all saw that he's gonna wrestle, although there's a lot of folks trying to keep him from getting the Virginia Athletic Commission not to allow him because he's older, pacemaker, not in well health, and there's a concern for him to wrestle that match in Tennessee. That's going to be the weekend of the 30th of July, where right before SummerSlam, and they thought about Ricky Steamboat it's supposed to be a 6-man tag, the Rock Express. And FTR was going to team up Ric Flair and take on, and Ricky's the Dragon Steamboat was the 6th person, and he didn't allow it. Oh, cool. And they didn't allow they don't know. Ricky Steamboat said no, thank you. I cannot wrestle. Anybody you thought about coming into the match there as part of the 6-man tag match to fight Flair to be part of it? Anybody come in mind?
I'll be honest with you now. I don't know.
Well, I got one. My son just came back from MegaCon, and he's got Jerry the King Lawler. My son and Jerry the King Lawler just took a picture together. We'll post it online, and maybe Jerry Lawler may be a match for Ric Flair, even Sting, because if you team him up with FTR, they both AEW. Tony Khan gives approval. Sting is not doing nothing but just standing there like a walking puppet in AEW. You could put him there. Ric Flair's last match in WCW before they got bought was with Sting. Why not his final match with Sting? Because I doubt Bret Hart will be one, because if FTR could fulfill a legacy, long lost dream, teaming up with Bret Hart, but Bret Hart can't even walk to get in the ring. With Flair, I'm on that.
Yeah.
Doesn't Bret Hart have cancer though? So
yeah, I think I don't know if he has cancer. I know he's not well.
Last I heard, you got pancreatic cancer, which is a death sentence for men.
That sucks. That's why we need to check our prostates, and always, folks, no matter what. Yeah. It's not the most comfortable thing to do, but you have to, because the consequences are brutal. With that note, personally, I would like to see the Jerry Lawler, Honky Tonk Man might be a name that be out there, because I don't doubt Ric Flair is gonna, when you want to go see Ric Flair do this match, you just basically be honest with you. We all want to see him with the introduction music, come out with the robe, spin around, give us a woo, strut, cut a beautiful promo, and maybe a couple of chops, and that's it. Be honest with you. What do you? I don't want to see him doing the upside down flip anymore, like he used to do. You're not there no more, Flair. We appreciate it. We thank you for the memories that you've given us as a wrestling fan. Myself, seeing your career, from all my life, seeing you in the ring, almost 45 years of what he has, like 54-year wrestling career. I've seen mostly, all of your three-quarters of your wrestling career, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. I just don't want him to get hurt. I want him to, yeah. Don't want him to get
hurt. Enjoy life, Flair. That's all you got to do.
And he doesn't seem like he's happy. Like he wants something drives him to want continue.
It's wrestling. Yeah. He just misses the business. Sometimes you just love what you do so much to the point where you just don't get enough of it.
And personally, I loved him when he was a general manager in Raw. I wish they would have, because he fits the bill. He's profile. He's, with the suits and making matches. And I wish that, I love that role, that capacity, like a commissioner role like that. But I don't know if his faculties are, intact still. But that would have been a nice role for him if it would have kept him as Raw general. I liked it when he was Raw general manager, personally. Yeah. So anything else before we say goodnight, guys?
No.
Any rumors, any notes that you hear, anything?
No.
AEW sucks. That's a rumor.
Oh my God! You come on! You coming on the AEW podcast too? What a heel! What a heel! What a heel! What a heel! You know what?
I mean, For what it is, I mean, like I said,
You got to give it to him.
Wait. That's what I was gonna say. Heel, don't hold on. You're gonna join the list too. Samurai, welcome for the very first time to.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
Oh no. I'm on the list. No.
Well, it beats from being the pig of the week. But all in all, thank you guys. Salute to Adam, who's in the Greek festival, eating some delicious lamb, some delicious Greek delicacies and delicious food. Enjoy yourself, God. Adam. We miss you. We'll see you next Wednesday. I hope so. Thursday, I mean, better than ever. Like you always bring it. And we thank you, Heel. Many thanks for bringing it today, tonight's show. Samurai, thank you for the double duty with the podcast, not just on the AEW here, chiming in from time here, as well as the NXT. Check us out. We are in all audio platforms. Anywhere that you have an audio podcast, just put the BX Sports Jedi Network, Heel of the Ring podcast, and you have all the different programs from Raw, SmackDown, Rampage, Dynamite, NXT, you name it, you got it. And if you like all the sports, we cover all the sports on the Sports Jedi Network. We do Combat Sport MMA Weekly with Austin and Chef Dan. We also cover the Yankees, baseball, Knicks, Return of the Knicks podcast, the Bronx Bombers Strike Back, the Jets Alorian, and the Chief Chef Dan's Giants Report. So we got it. Ranger Town Republic. We will have the Rangers playoff watch along as well. So join us. Thank you guys for watching us here on all the different platforms and Facebook, YouTube, Rumba, Twitter, Twitch, and hopefully soon in Instagram. Instagram is becoming a little pain in the ass to get in. We used to be on, but they changed all their formats. But we'll be there. So from me to Heel, from Samurai, always may the sports be with you, and always pin the competition, and always come on top and get yourself over. So salute and have a good night.
I'm awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like. Oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted. So mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad. Shut up.
Bye.